So here we are back at the Astah tool. We've already potentially created data flow diagrams indicating the flow and boundary of data within our system. And I would like to start creating some use case models to show a different perspective and really focus on the actors and their interactions with the various processes that we may or may not be automating. So in this case, I'll go to my diagram tool and I'll select a use case diagram, and I am open up a blank canvas in which I can start to add my actors and my use cases. So the actor that I want to add, of course, is going to be customer. So I'll select that and I'll name that actor customer, and I can include a high-level use case called handle order. Now you'll notice that there is no equivalent of a data store within the use case model repository. I will include an association between customer and handle order. Now keep in mind the association does not indicate a flow of data. It indicates really that the customer is involved in providing some sort of input to handle order, but it is not a flow of data per se, in the same way that a data flow diagram indicates a flow of data. Although in reality, once you create a user interface for the customer, there will in fact be the customer providing information into the handle order scenario. And that's the way to create a high-level use case model. So here we are with our handle order use case, and there are two other symbols I'd like to spend a little time on. One is called an extend and the other an include. So handle order is, as we've discussed, a high-level use case. There may be other supporting use cases that may be invoked either optionally or always as part of handle order, but it is potentially there are other use cases that could be used in other places. So one use case might be authenticate user. So I will include that as part of handle order, and I do that by selecting the use case symbol. I name it authenticate user, and I want to indicate that it is always included when I invoke handle order. So in order to do that, I will select include and start from the point of origin in terms of where the process really gets started, and include that, just like that. So handle order includes authenticate user every time it is instantiated. Now there may be other use cases that are essentially optional in nature. I may or may not need them. So one might be, for example, create a new customer file. In other words, if it's a returning customer, I don't have to create a new customer file. So let's add a use case called create customer file. And we will associate that with handle order by using the extend association. And I will select extend. And again, I start from the point of view, in this case, of the optional use case, and I then connect it to handle order. So this is saying that create customer file extends or enhances handle order, but is not required at the point of invocation. So another way to follow this is something along these lines. Actor customer invokes handle order, and at the very beginning that includes authenticating user. If I authenticate the user and I find that the customer is not a returning customer, I then will use the extension to create the customer file. And that's the high-level view of this particular use case.